I'm the investigator for the Tuscaloosa County Sheriff's Office Animal Control Unit.
So tell us about this animal cruelty case.
This is Remy.
That's what I do.
She, Animal Control got a call around 5:30 on March 3rd. A couple had come home and found her in their yard, and she had a gunshot wound to the left side of her face. One of our units went out and picked her up, and they took her, after talking with the on-call here at Metro, she went straight to Emergency Vet and has been at a vet's office, either Emergency Vet or the vet she was taken to from there, pretty much until yesterday. She had 2 surgeries. She had a feeding tube put in. She's had the feeding tube since removed, but we're still in healing process, which accounts for the collar on her. So.
And Martha, if you could look just,
I'm sorry.
that's all right.
Okay.
Just kind of talk about this crime. How severe is this, and what's your message to whoever did this?
I'd love to find out who did this. So anybody that knows anything, please call the sheriff's office. Just ask for animal control. This is very serious. The bullet technically went in her left jaw, shattered, fragmented, and the fragments are still in her body. I have a copy of her x-ray with that. This is real serious. I mean, someone has shot a dog and left it for dead, or left it to die. And that's about as inhumane as you can get, in my book.
Do you know anything about who may be responsible, or what kind of information would better help you guys identify who might be responsible?
We have no idea. She was found in a yard off of Kaufman Loop, off Highway 171. So, you know, that's the closest thing I know right now.
How upsetting is this to you as a law enforcement officer, and this is your specialty?
This kind of thing is what gets to me. And I guess that's why the county has me doing what I do. Because I love being around animals. I cannot stand to see an animal mistreated. So.
What kind of condition was she in, as far as like, was she conscious or whimpering or passed out?
She was, according to the officer that picked her up, he called me on his way in with her. She was conscious, but she was having a hard time breathing. My understanding was there was a good bit of swelling to the throat, the sinus area, a good bit of trauma. So she was in pretty dire straits.
Was she well cared for, other than the obvious that someone had shot her?
She was a little underweight when she came in. You know, other than that, there were no other obvious injuries, but I mean, she could definitely have more weight on her.
What kind of dog is she?
You know, when they're mixed, it's really hard to tell just by looking. But I mean, if we had to guess, maybe Shepherd Husky, somewhere along the lines, with some other mixed breed dog.
Any guess how old she might be?
I think we aged her a little while ago, around 5, maybe.
Jennifer, what are your thoughts on this, Jennifer?
Where she got shot? When did that happen?
March 3rd is when we picked her up. So the wound was fresh. We're assuming she was shot just prior to us being notified, or to the people finding her in their yard.
Jennifer, what are your thoughts on this case? The fact that someone shot a dog.
Well, anytime we see anything like that, it's extremely sad for us. Our staff's always deeply affected by it, and we try very hard to take the best care that we can of them. And with the help of animal control, we're always able to get them what they need. You know, she was touch and go there for a minute when she first came in. She didn't do very well the first night, and we immediately contacted another local vet and was able to get her in there, and she stayed there a night or 2. The feeding tube was inserted just a couple of days after us receiving her, and she wouldn't eat on her own. A little light swelling in the throat area, but just in a couple of days, the feeding tube was able to be removed because she was doing so well. And then just actually this morning was her first time that she's really walking around on her own. So she's done a complete 360 in the last couple of days.
Tell us what kind of dog she's like what's her personality, as far as what you've seen.
She's awesome. Very sweet, wants to be petted. wants
Attention
attention.
seeker.
Yes, very much an attention seeker. She's just a really laid back dog as far as people go. Of course, she's stayed in here. This is her area because of her injuries and because one of the evaluators has had to pretty much hand feed her for
Martha,
the last 2 days.
talk about the recovery process. What is this going to be like for her trying to get better? Or which one? Or
Well, we certainly are looking for an experienced foster for her right now. That's definitely what she needs. Even though we are providing the best care we can, being out of a shelter environment, away from so many other animals, is the best thing for her. So anyone out there, you know, that is experienced in handling medical cases, we would certainly appreciate you reaching out to us. We need to really get her into a home so that she can recuperate better. But you know, with the progress that she's making, we're really hopeful that just in a matter of weeks she'll be really good to go. You know, the fragments that are still in her shouldn't be affecting her, is what the vet told us. And so they chose not to do anything further with that. But yeah, we think that she'll do a pretty
what
full
kind
recovery in a
what
couple
kind of
weeks.
treatments and medications? Just kind of talk about the steps that you guys are taking to get her back to normal.
Right now, she's taking daily medications for inflammation, you know, antibiotics to keep any infection out of her surgical areas. You know, she did just get the feeding tube removed, so we are hand feeding her right now with wet food, and she's responding very well to that. And other than that, it's just monitoring and, you know, just walking her every hour or so. She needs to really stretch her legs and stay mobile. That's the best thing for her. And then she just kind of hangs out in here with us, so she's doing well.
Jennifer, could you say and spell your first and last name and also give us your title?
It's Jennifer Earp, Jennifer Earp. I'm the director.
Martha, it kind of sounds like you have a connection with Remy. Kind of talk about how special this dog is, and just, you know, like Annie said, just the personality of this animal.
I mean, what you're seeing right now, this is not pain medication. This is her. She's just very laid back. This dog has undergone 2 surgeries, 2 major surgeries. She's been, I mean, up until yesterday, really wasn't eating. So she's done she's taken huge steps in the last 24 hours. She's got a lot more steps to go, but she's gonna be an awesome dog.
When did this happen, and where, the location?
She was brought, or we were called on March 3rd at around 5:30 in the afternoon, and it was off of Kaufman Loop, which is off Highway 171.
Any leads as to who the shooter was?
No, but anybody that knows, please call.
Do you know what kind of weapon she was shot with?
No, because of the fragmentation of the bullet, there's no way.
What
Did
are
the-
some of the charges this person could face?
Cruelty. It would be a cruelty charge.
The people who found her, did they hear a gunshot or her
They found her when
barking?
they
or
got home. I'm assuming from work, because it was on a Tuesday.
Excuse me, but animal cruelty is a felony?
There's misdemeanor and felony. It would depend on the circumstance as to which way it would go. I always hope for a felony. I'd rather go up and come down than try.
What determines which it is?
The circumstance of, you know, she's walking down the road and minding her own business, and somebody just shoots and shoots her on purpose, that's one thing. If she's shot accidentally, that's something else. But from the way she was shot, I would have to say it's probably not an accident.
Does the medication make her sleepy, or is this just her nap time?
I think she's just still a little weak, you know, from the surgeries.
Okay.
So the medication shouldn't be causing her to do that. I think she's just a little tired, still recuperating, and this is really her first time out and about more. We've been letting her out, and she goes straight to the bed. But this morning we were able to actually walk her around, and that's progress for her. But she just kind of.
Yeah, she's been outside twice this morning, so that's a lot when you've been, I mean, this weekend she was on death's doorstep. So she has made a miraculous recovery, and my kudos, of course, are to Metro. The expense that they've incurred with her, with all the animals back here, it's amazing how many are back here that we don't see, but,
Martha, again, your message to the individual or individuals who did this.
come forward. Man up.
Obviously, this is upsetting.
It is extremely upsetting to me to see someone hurt, starve an animal. I can't imagine what she could have done to warrant this. And like people that have animals and choose not to feed them, animals don't have thumbs. They can't open a can, make a sandwich, turn the water on. As an animal owner, it's a responsibility. And if you have, if you have stray animals on your property, call us. That's what we do, which is why we're here so often.
That's right.
Have you guys tried going back to that neighborhood and maybe questioning people in that area?
Somewhat, but not as much as I'd like to at this point.
How goes the case?
It's one day at a time right now. Nobody's talking, or nobody wants to say anything, or nobody knows anything.
How common is it for you to work a case where somebody has shot a dog?
Actually, unfortunately, more common than I want to think about. We've had several. There's Keller, and we've had several.
We received several even that come in with bullets, and it's an older injury, so we don't know until we take it to the vet for a checkup, and then we find out they have a bullet still in them from another situation. And like Martha said, unfortunately, it happens way too often.
And the animal shot and left suffering. Because, like I said, she was not breathing well when she was picked up.
What's the harness for?
She has a bandage around her throat. I know you can't see it because of the.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure that's like part of the.
It's
like
part.
the
It
leash.
was where around her neck was where the feeding tube was. So the harness is so they can take her outside and walk her around.
Jennifer, does this dog look like she was in a good home before this incident happened to her?
It's really hard to say, but I would say, just based upon, the look of her, that she was probably roaming around for at least, a week or so, with how thin she is. So if she was in a home before, she's probably been out a little while, it's just seeing just the overall condition. She looked like she's belonged to someone, she's not in such bad shape where someone hasn't been feeding her, but she looks like either she may have gotten out or someone's abandoned her, one or the other. Those are usually the only options, but she hasn't really seen a lot of food, it looks like, in the last couple of weeks.
And of course, she didn't have a collar.
She did not.
But she's very used to human contact, and she was not microchipped.
She's a nestler. When she gets up and she does walk around, she likes to kind of nestle up to you. She'll put her nose. If you sit down to her, she'll put her nose in your knees or your belly. She just likes to, right now, hang on to you. She's right beside you.
Thanks, ladies.
You're welcome. Thank you guys.